Ubisoft just can't stay out of the news cycle. And when you thought they already hit rock bottom, they make another outrageous statement. As in today's, Ubisoft claims microtransactions help players experience more fun. Yeah, Ubisoft, of course you'd think that, because you stuff microtransactions in single-player games, and then you try to tell us that's the best and optimal way to have fun. You know, I was starting to like French people because of Expedition 33, but you're making that shit really, really hard as you keep lowering the bar and the standard for what a AAA company should be. But you know what? Maybe there's some merit to what Ubisoft's saying. Maybe it's not just fluff for the sake of fluff. Like maybe Ubisoft has some actual points. So we're gonna dive into the article and just take a look at exactly why they think microtransactions make gamers have more fun. So right here we see, this is always optional, Ubisoft stresses, but players like to pay to personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. Because people are like hamsters. If the wheel spins, they're gonna run. And as a company, if you make that wheel only spin when you spin the goddamn gacha wheel, you're a dogshit company, and I stand by that statement. You can do microtransactions. You know what? Battle passes, it's the new norm. It's the new welcome to modern gaming where you spend to have fun, right? We all get it. But Ubisoft does it in such an egregious way that it's really hard to even defend Ubisoft when they're doing something that the entire industry is doing, right? Ubisoft's not unique here in trying to sell microtransactions where microtransactions don't belong. We can all thank Bethesda for Horse Armor all the way back when Oblivion was a thing, because they set the seed for eventually quadruple A bullshittery. But when you read statements like this, you look at these articles and these Reddit threads and all of these things, all that really comes to mind is, why do they keep saying things online, right? Ubisoft's best PR tactic would be to shut the fuck up. There's no magic here. There's no incredible formula. If Ubisoft just stopped talking, they'd stay out of the news cycle. Every single article I see, every single statement I see, Ubisoft just seems to be unable to stop saying dumb shit. If at a certain point, everything you say is received terribly, why are you still talking? Am I the outlandish one here? I just kind of feel like at a certain point, your entire PR team should be fired, or they should be listened to. It's one of the two. Either they're terrible, or the people in leadership are ignoring them. And either option is terrible. Now, I'm gonna read a couple of other articles, right? Because this isn't the only shit thing they've done recently. Ubisoft CEO says Assassin's Creed Shadow cost over $100 million to make, but that's not shocking if you sat through the game's 2-hour credits. Assassin's Creed Shadow was not a $100 million game. By no metric, by no standard, by no achievement. Was it a terrible game? Nah, it was like a 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was a decent game if you've played it. I'm not even gonna touch the woke shit or this or that. I don't really give too many fucks about that, right? It's irrelevant to the topic of the game's quality. If they spent $100 million on Assassin's Creed Shadow, 50 million of that was money laundering. The game did not deserve $100 million in budget. It didn't deliver anything amazing. It didn't deliver anything incredible. By every standard, this was an above average game. This was an above average game at best. And they spent $100 million. This is why your company's on track for bankruptcy, Ves. You spent this much money. You made Skull and Bones. You made Star Wars Outlaws. Just make the games people want. Where is this money being spent? Where is it going? You cannot be paying that many developers a decent salary to be spending $100 million on subpar gaming. And you know what? Maybe Assassin's Creed Shadow did cost $100 million to make. But all that really tells me is that your company is so financially mismanaged that money is going missing and you guys can't prove where it's being spent. 2-hour credits. Did you guys just bring the entire company, put every single person in the credit scene? What video game needs 2-hour credits? GTA 6 isn't gonna have 2-hour credits. And you're saying you spent $100 million on this shit. Assassin's Creed Black Flag's remake is on the horizon, and I see shit like this coming out of your company. Microtransactions are good for you. It makes the game better. You're making me worried that I'm gonna go into a remake of a single player game, and you're gonna paywall me with literal, you wanna level up? You wanna upgrade to a better ship? You want to fight the ghost of Blackbeard? That's a $20 DLC. Like, at a certain point, all I have to ask is, what the fuck is wrong with your company? How did Ubisoft go from being this juggernaut where when Ubisoft was making a game, I was genuinely excited. I used to be like, oh damn, a new Assassin's Creed. Oh, a new Tom Clancy's. Oh, this is gonna be really fun. And then I start looking up modern Ubisoft. Why? Like, don't get me wrong, you're making the same game with a slightly different skin each time, right? But that formula clearly worked for a long time. And then something shifted and the formula got shit on. And I don't understand why Ubisoft keeps making these bad decisions. I'm gonna read a final article here because, you know what? I could have made 3 different videos, but I want to summarize everything in a singular condensed video because, you know what? Nobody needs 3 videos about Ubisoft in a singular week. There's too much Ubisoft in the news cycle as is. Ubisoft CEO addresses the stop killing games after overseeing the deaths of the crew and ex-Defiant. Support for all games cannot last forever. Clearly this is a far-reaching issue and we're working on it. No, the fuck you're not. The amount of lies coming out of your mouth is disgusting. It's misconstruing the entire stop killing games movement. I could do a whole video on the stop killing games movement, but it's not about making companies pay for servers for a game with one person. It's about making sure that games, when they're shut down, are still accessible. Hosting private servers, hosting your own servers, hosting things on your own end, being able to play the game single player. A lot of games do have the ability to disable the online only requirements. All people are asking for is, if you're gonna stop supporting a game, that's okay. But don't take people's games away from them. Ubisoft is one of those companies that quite literally said, get used to not owning your games. Ubisoft, if you're gonna tell people they can't own their games, people are gonna pirate your shit. Just be a good company. You didn't have to lower the bar so far down here. Like, everybody was hating on Blizzard, right? Like, Blizzard shit the bed, they stole titty milk and a whole bunch of other like issues. And somehow, despite rampant, disgusting behavior from high-level people at Blizzard a couple years back, Ubisoft is still below that. And that's wild to me. The fact that as a company, you shit the bed so bad that your reputation is so far down in the gutter that it's worse than people that molest people. Do you know how bad you have to really shit the bed for that to be the case, for that to be a real thing? But let's keep reading what they actually said here. Regarding the petition, we operate in a market, Guillemot said, as noted by GameFile, the paywalled article, and whenever we release a game, we provide a lot of support for that game. We also provide a lot of services to make sure that the game is accessible and remains playable 24/7. But it's not. A lot of times Ubisoft will shutter a game because it has no players. It doesn't get the player base it needs. They don't fund it accurately. They don't do things, right? In contexts like this, when you say statements like that, you're literally not addressing what people are talking about. You're trying to make yourself come off in a way that's disingenuous at best. And then you scroll down and says, but this kind of issue is not specific to Ubisoft. All video game publishers are faced with that issue. You provide a service, but nothing is written in stone, and at some point the service may be discontinued. Nothing is eternal, and we're doing our best to make sure that things go well for all players and buyers, because obviously support for all games cannot last forever. And that's the thing, nobody's expecting it. Nobody's thinking the crew's gonna last 15, 20, 30 years. It's not World of Warcraft, it's not League of Legends. But they want to be able to play the game offline. They want to be able to host their own servers. And the fact that they're not allowed to do that because it's illegal or it's breaking the law, because it's a digital license. We don't own shit that we buy. On Steam, you don't actually own your library. You are renting the license to a lot of these games, which at any point can be revoked. It's happened in the past. Games have been revoked from people's libraries. That is not fair. If I'm spending $80 on a game, I own that game. And we're heading into a direction, a future where being real, you don't get to own shit and you're expected to be happy about it. And like, this isn't a Ubisoft video, right? Like, this is about Ubisoft, so I'm not gonna dive too much and stop killing games. But why is Ubisoft, as a company with such bad PR, talking about a topic which is so divisive and antagonistic to gamers in general and giving a piss poor opinion? Your reputation is already in tatters. You literally had to sell off your own IPs to a company with Tencent so you could keep maintaining control after you tanked the company stock. Like, the amount of mistakes being done by Ubisoft, at a certain point, just stop taking any interviews, stop doing any PR rounds, just be quiet, release your games and say nothing. The people that are gonna buy all these games are gonna keep buying them. Don't try to convince them, just make the game and stop talking. You aren't saving your reputation. You aren't really doing shit to make people be more excited. Every time I've heard of Ubisoft in the past, I wanna say 2-ish years, give or take, it's been negative. There hasn't been one article of positive news about Ubisoft since Valhalla came out. Just make your games. The fact that this is 1 week of news, by the way. This is a singular week. Like, listen to your PR people. There's a Reddit comment I want to read here. Ubisoft just cannot stop putting their foot in their mouth. At this point, they'd better have PR if they just shut up entirely. No kidding, man. You can totally say the gist of what they're saying and they have it seem normal. Microtransactions give players who are looking for a little more in a world they love being in some extra content, personalization, and even gear to enjoy. And if you don't want to, the base game still has more than enough to be a complete experience. That's a statement. That's a fair thing to say. But just saying microtransactions are good for people in a single player game is not. And it's how they say things, it's how it's construed, and their reputation means no matter what they say, even if it's positive, it's going to be spun in an incredibly negative manner because Ubisoft has only been negative to gamers in the past couple of years. It's a give and take relationship here, and people just don't like Ubisoft. So it is what it is. But thank y'all for coming to my dog shit TED Talk. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you hated it, understandable. Dislike and subscribe and be a dedicated hater. We don't half-ass hate on this channel. We full-ass it. Thank y'all for watching. Ebenhard out. Peace.